on board, enough hybrids, enough online chess. We are all happy to be again. And this beautiful event with me is President of European Chess Union, Mr. Zurab Azmaiparashvili. Zurab, welcome.
Thank you, Alojzije. Thank you.
As I said, really nice that we are back. It was very challenging to organize this event, right?
Of course, it was very challenging. You understand that all people, especially organizers, they were worrying, especially when you are learning that the COVID situation is becoming worse and worse. So any day can happen anything, any decision of the government, which one, okay, it's reasonable decisions. And we're, of course, until the last moment, when you are not sure that it can be or not. But thanks to Slovenian government, who take into account that such a massive and great event as the European Team Championship should be held, and of course under all restrictions which we follow, and our players and arbiters and who are involved in the organization. And we will show that, yes, even in this difficult period, we are able smoothly to organize tournament with not having any serious issues.
Yeah, all the players were tested,
yes.
All the captains, no positive cases, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
no
okay.
positive cases.
That's good. What's important is to have this flexibility, but the health is very important, as we already said. This event is probably the toppest regarding quality and the great players. We have many players here. Also, the president of FIDE, Arkady Dvorkovic,
yes.
visited the event. Tomorrow we will have him here in our studio. What's your plan regarding next year, regarding ECU organization and all those events? What can people expect?
Well, you know, this year we try, and we organized in the parallel live, like hybrid event, online event, and over-the-board chess game. So this is already how many tournaments we organize. We organize the individual events for in Reykjavik and Iași.
Yes, yes.
We organize also in Prague the senior and amateur in Italy. So, and this is a fifth event which is going on the road, and also before this, 1 month before, just we have very successful also tournament in North Macedonia, where world champion Carsten also play several games. So you see that many tournaments we already organize over the board game, but only one tournament we didn't risk, and it is a most massive, let's say, event is the youth championships. Because youth championship, you know that there are a lot of parents, a lot of kids, and around 2,000 people. So still we believe that there is not a situation in the world that we can risk so much. Of course, organizing all these events, which we mentioned, we are on the, we calculate and we are taking in consideration that there is a risk. But there is a risk, you know, if you evaluate the risk and you see that, okay, 40, 60, 40 is a risk that maybe, then you have to go.
Yeah.
It's our decision is like, but when it's the risk 80%, then I believe that it should be a little bit crazy to go on.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
but for next year, because I believe that for next year vaccination also in the world will be much better than this year, and especially in Europe, we are talking now about European events will be much higher, and we believe also that the good news are coming, that some medicines, some treatments will be also more adopted. So then, of course, we are planning for next year also to organize full calendar. But for us, it's very important to keep all those benefits what we take out from this COVID situation. Especially, we are talking about the hybrid events. Okay, hybrid events looks like to me using the Tornello platform, which is very successful, and we were the first organization who signed the agreement with Tornello, and we are cooperating well. Of course, such a tournament we have to keep. we have to keep. This is our. We don't say that we have to keep the online tournaments, but for sure the hybrid tournaments we have to keep. And today we have a board meeting, and tomorrow we will introduce on our General Assembly very important project, and I think this project have a future to have a hybrid events European Citizen Towns Championship, which we believe that will more activate our federations, because federation, it will be our member federations. This will be main organizations who have to work with the local municipalities to involve more people in chess and with less money. Let's say like this. There is not so costly event, but this is the new idea, and I believe it will work, and we will start with this, and maybe this will be one step future that to get the later on, if the event will become massive and many citizen towns will participate, then can you imagine that finally will be more interesting for sponsors?
Understood.
Yeah.
Regarding that situation you are mentioning, of course, that was also challenging for arbiters to handle that situation.
Yes.
As I noticed, there were many, I would say,
More heavy,
courses,
much more
yes.
heavy job for the
Yes.
arbiters. We know this. That's why they are very respected. We never say that this is the job they are doing from their whatever houses. No, this is a real tough job, and sometimes they are not sleeping at all. I know this many cases, and we appreciate such a work in Europe. And again, not because that we are the flagman for this on this direction, and this is good that we can show to all the world, to all other continents, how they have to do it, and we are ready always to help also in this direction, because strong continents is strong FIDE.
Yeah.
And we need a strong FIDE, because strong FIDE is a strong continent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
today we feel that FIDE is a strong organization. Therefore, European projects, which is many projects are financed by developing fund from FIDE, this is a win-win situation for FIDE and for ECU as well.
Because of COVID situation and pandemic, you needed to postpone or cancel a beautiful event, Golden Pong. What is the situation with that event? It was really fantastic in Monte Carlo. You were a pioneer in that area. So,
unfortunately, when we are talking about the chess events like over the board, when you see that world is becoming, also players are becoming a little bit tired to play many tournaments online and even hybrid, and they are really hungry to play the real over the board chess game, then you are working on this direction. You are risking also on this direction, how I mentioned already. When you see the 40% risk, then it's okay. You are risking, sometimes the situation is worse and worse, like become also in Iceland in that time, I remember, later on here in Slovenia, but still we are on the border that we didn't cross the red lines, correct?
yeah.
Now when we are talking the events which really bring the big popularity and advertisement for chess, here to risk, it's not good, because then you are risking a lot of money. And we are not such an organization who can later to explain the sponsors. You see that because of pandemic, there is a pandemic. So I believe that with such an event, we should work and start when pandemic will go really down, and then will be much easier to organize such a beautiful event. Of course, we never stop the thinking about the idea to have it and to continue.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, you are not just an ordinary president, you are also a grandmaster. Can we comment a bit the lineups, or let's say teams? You were involved in development of many players, if I'm not mistaken, and team as a captain.
Yeah, a few of them they play.
Yeah, a few of them play. It's interesting now when we take a look of the list of the captains. That there are some great players,
Yes, of course.
as well. So many grandmasters are now captains of the teams. Of course, Russians. Yesterday was this opening ceremony in the Naz Castle, right? And there was a drawing of lots, And Russian team in the men's section, they got white pieces in the first match. Women team got black pieces. So they are clearly favorites.
Yes, but fun story, yes?
Yes, yes, yes. So what's your prediction regarding, you're probably rooting to have interesting matches?
Two Russian captains yesterday, they went to the stage to choose the color. So it was a little bit, maybe it was prepared with the nice things, but you can see actually the white and black piece inside, and I see how, I like to say about this story because I see in the beginning that Wróblewski, who was the first to take it, he don't know it will be like this. He was expecting some boxes inside, and he see what he can do. He cannot stop his hand,
Yeah.
But Motilov, what he did after this, because he realized that there is something wrong, he turned his face and just took the.
Great sportsmanship.
So this is great sportsmanship, which we have to mention, because this is a chess and this is a royal game, king's game. So to behave like this, it's fantastic.
Great.
And I'm not accusing Wróblewski because he was surprised, but what he can do after this, it's
understood. So Russians are leading.
Russians are leading, but the tournament here is very interesting. What I see now, for example, today, by rating they are number 2. Yes, France.
France is number 3, so we have Russia number 1, Azerbaijan
France is even number 3,
yeah.
but we all just were witness of the great tournament, great Swiss, Grand Swiss, which happened in Latvia, and first of all, the tournament was organized fantastic, very well, and I met a lot of chess players, including those who we can say that somehow have in the past connection with me as a player or as a colleague or whatever. So all of them, they say that few tournaments they can just mention organized on such a great level. This is very important. I'm very proud to have such a friend like Dana Rieznica-Ozola. And she gave
managing director,
managing director of FIDE and vice president of the European Chess Union. So I'm really, I was always pray for Dana, starting from the beginning. You remember that just 1 week before the Grand Swiss, Latvia announced the lockdown. And we are all of us worrying that so much work, what we know that have done by Dana, can be, suddenly in the water somewhere. But she did everything, and Latvian government also support her proposals, and the tournament was held in the fantastic level. And I just start mentioning the French team, and I could not avoid not to speak about Firouzja, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Firouzja, I never met, by the way, Firouzja, only first time here. I saw Vasher, who is a friend of mine. I went to say hello to Russian, but my meaning was to shake a hand of Firouzja, just to congratulate with his great performance and great games, what he have done. And I'm taking France as a one of the team which will favorite and will fight for gold. Once upon a time they were champions also, Europeans.
Yeah.
So we will,
I know this. So we cannot call them dark horse because they are one of the favorites, but according to rating, they are only on 3rd place, but they are super strong.
Yes, Azerbaijan, it's also superstar team, which several times, at least I think 3 times they were the champions.
Yes, they have
starting with me in 2009, I was the captain of the team, and then twice more they became champion.
2017 of course, in Crete.
Of course, it's a very strong team. Azerbaijan team is very strong. I believe that if they have, for them, I know the guys. For them, it's a motivation. It's very important. Yes, when you're 3 times champion, your motivation is not enough. After we know this, we are all sportsmen here. Yeah, you, me, and we know this that when you are gaining something once, second time, third time, then your motivation is going down. But if they find new, of course, all players here they are stars, and they can fight. That's why for me it looks main now because of the Firouzja's leadership, new leader of the France. they should have more motivation than the other teams, the Russian or Azerbaijan. That's why it's not my prediction or something like that, but I believe that France will give serious fight.
Understood.
Here in this,
yeah, I would
yeah.
completely agree with
Yeah.
that, because they are really eager and they have this fighting team. This is 9 rounds tournament. You need to have some players which can win important match.
Yeah, you see that in France team it's Etienne Bacro. Okay, Etienne it's a friend of mine, longer friend of mine. I was his coach when he was very young player, and also Rajabov is from Azerbaijan team in the similar age, almost in the same years. Just difference was 1 year. I quit with Bacro, and then Teimur become my pupil. So I like that both of them, they become chess stars.
Yeah, today there are few interesting matches. For example, we will see what will happen between Austria, actually, because Rager is very solid with white. Will Firouzja be able to create something with black, or he will stay solid? This is interesting game.
We have to understand that always it's up and down.
Yeah.
You cannot play all tournament in the up. Sometimes it's and after finishing so high performance, Riga. Of course, it's expectable that now his body is probably a little bit down.
Yes.
But I still believe that Firouzja will find a way. Let's see how it is the end game, if we can see.
Yeah, we can, sure. We will switch to the game. So then you will follow the game. So we are searching the game Firouzja Rager.
Rager Firouzja.
Yeah, Rager Firouzja is the game.
Yeah.
So the position is, as you can see, this is some Caro-Kann, right?
Yeah, some Caro-Kann, correct, yes. It's unusual Caro-Kann.
Yeah, queen went to h3. Just a sec, let's see. Okay. So queen went to h3. Block position. Okay, 2 bishops for white.
Yes, and some initiative on the king's side. Yeah.
Very interesting game. Actually,
Yes,
Rager is one of the players who is really theoretical armed, so it will be interesting to see. This is the game. This is the game to follow, right? There is one game more. There is a game of interesting game, Giri against Jubava.
Okay.
This is the game.
A long time ago, they start fighting in chess. It was if I remember well, some kind of Sveshnikov they play, and several times both they think both that they have a much better position. Yes, like this. But I think that time Giri was right.
Now you see the same thing. Interesting, Caro-Kann.
Yeah.
Okay, sharp, but these are tricky positions. Yeah. Actually, now, have you played Caro-Kann in your career?
Yes, I played Caro-Kann, but you see that when I started to play Caro-Kann, I was truly afraid, especially E5. I was not afraid any kind of other system, but I was afraid E5. And once I lost in Israel, I think, during the team event, Team World Championship with Petr Svidler, I lost very interesting game. So and in the end game, I was trying to save my game, not having the piece less. I have a less piece, but I tried to organize like this B7, B6 pawns with black square bishop for white. So when you cannot win, you just.
That was the game. It was resigned. It was resigned.
Yeah, somebody resigned.
Yes,
I remember. Yes.
I'm trying to recall. I think it was Giri against someone. Giri against someone. And
when you cannot win the game, whatever.
Black resigned. Yeah, Black resigned.
I try and okay, Petr, he's very experienced. He find out to avoid this.
Yeah, I think it was Giri Shekland. I think it was Giri Shekland, Vaikanze, where he resigned. Yeah, Giri sense. This psychological that pressure, and then that Shekland he's not aware what's going on on the position. Okay, we will see interesting games. We can quickly try to discuss a bit women's section as well. So take a look of the lineups, or let's say some pairings in women's section.
Yeah, women course, it's
Gorjatskina is
here,
now huge.
Here I have
huge.
no doubt about, because just to compare the teams like this, we say that Russian men team is very strong, but how they are somehow approaching the tournament, always they have some difficulties, and most of the time they are not number one. Most of the time in the team events, but it's opposite. It's girls are completely opposite. Always they have good motivation and they're fighters, and they deserve to have a victory. And I believe that the Russian team here is an unadaptable leader, just leader. You can see the difference of by even rating.
Rating,
It's
yeah.
Close so many points.
Average is close to 100.
Here, they're so far from the number 2 Georgia, and it's just a nice surprise for me that Georgia is the number 2. Because normally it should be Ukraine, but Ukraine is not participating. Somehow.
Yeah, I know the captain David Joshua.
Yes,
very solid, very good player. So they have a right, I would say.
Okay, for medals here will participate many teams.
Ukraine is playing, but it's on
Ukraine is playing, but they are playing without sisters, and
yes.
Of course this is a different team without sisters.
France can be maybe some of the team.
France, Poland, as usually.
Poland is,
Poland no, there will be big fight for mainly for the medals, but I don't think truly, I don't think that for a gold medal will be some serious fight there.
Understood. Okay, we will see. The things can become tricky. Okay, Zurab, thanks for joining.
Thank you,
nice.
Alojzije. I give you really. I wish you really good luck, and I know that you will do your job in very high level.
I will do my best.
So always, as usually, you are doing fantastic tournament of peace, and with your efforts, this tournament restart. And really, I feel as a partner with you and with all people who are working for chess. We are partners, and well, I'm waiting also for you tomorrow to come for our General Assembly to bring your interesting ideas, and you are one of the active members of our team.
Thank you, Zurab. Thank you, everyone. Take a look of the playing hall games, and then we will get back to you.